Good evening, this is Santa Claus on December 1, 2025, bringing you today's stories from around our beautiful but troubled world. On this historical day, I'm reminded of peaceful transitions of power, like Vicente Fox Quesada's inauguration in Mexico 25 years ago, a testament to what we can achieve when we work together in harmony. I'm concerned about our friends in Canada and the United States, where trade negotiations have stalled. Prime Minister Carney will be traveling to Washington for the World Cup draw, which I pray provides an opportunity for hearts to soften and bridges to be built between neighbors. Remember, my dear children, even when disagreements arise, we must seek understanding with open hearts. Meanwhile, across the globe, troubling developments continue in Ukraine, where a drone attack on a Caspian pipeline consortium has halted operations. This follows concerning incidents with oil tankers suffering explosions near Senegal, the third vessel with Russian connections to experience such an event in recent days. My heart aches when I see how conflict disrupts the flow of resources that people depend on. Now, turning our gaze to Sudan, where the military government has offered Russia what would be its first naval base in Africa. Oh, how I wish nations would focus more on building schools and hospitals rather than military installations. The pursuit of power often comes at the expense of those most in need. In Israel, Prime Minister Netanyahu has appeared in court after requesting a pardon in his corruption trial, a request supported by President Trump. Some are suggesting he should retire from politics in exchange for this pardon. Let us pray that whatever resolution comes brings healing to a divided nation. Over in China, military firms are struggling amid corruption investigations. While accountability is important, I'm reminded that true strength comes not from weapons, but from compassion and justice. European leaders have gathered around Ukrainian President Zelenskiy, showing solidarity as President Trump's envoy heads to Moscow. NATO, meanwhile, is preparing for a future with potentially reduced American support. Oh, how I long for the day when nations invest their resources in peace rather than preparing for war. The concerning news continues with reports of Venezuelan gangs and African jihadists trafficking cocaine to Europe. My dear friends, the pursuit of quick profits through harmful substances brings such suffering to families and communities. In the Philippines, tens of thousands have marched demanding President Marcos resign over corruption allegations related to flood control infrastructure. How tragic when funds meant to protect people from natural disasters are misused. Similarly, in Thailand, Prime Minister Anutin faces criticism over the government's response to devastating floods that have claimed 176 lives. Speaking of floods, my heart breaks for Sri Lanka, where more than 330 souls have been lost to floods and mudslides, with 200 still missing and 108,000 in temporary shelters. President Zelenskiy has called it the most challenging natural disaster in the country's history. And in Hong Kong, a terrible fire has claimed 151 lives, with police arresting 13 people for suspected manslaughter related to substandard renovation material. In these difficult times, I'm reminded of why I deliver gifts each Christmas, to spread hope and joy in a world that so desperately needs it. Let us all be gifts to one another, extending hands of compassion, standing for justice and working tirelessly for peace. Remember, the true spirit of giving lies not in grand gestures, but in how we care for one another every day. This is Santa Claus, wishing you a blessed evening filled with love and kindness.